Monday Night Wars podcast.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Monday Night Wars. It is August 11th, 1997, and it's a hot one here where I am. It's 105 degrees, so it's going to be an even hotter WCW Monday Night Nitro. What's so funny?
Yeah, it's going to be hot. As I look at the card.
With me as always is Joseph. I mean, first match is the Outsiders versus Bobby Starr and David. It's gonna be a hot one. Joseph, how you doing?
I am I'm doing good. My hair's a mess. We started recording by doing the pay-per-view episode, and I was wearing a jersey, which is way too hot upstairs because it's also hot here in Texas. Not quite as hot, but we got the humidity, so we get to throw that out there. Oh, it's humid over here, so it's so much worse. All that crap.
Humidity, yeah.
But I'm good. This is a bad episode of Nitro. Goodbye, everybody.
Oh,
this
episode, not as hot as I think.
This episode, I think, disappoints me in just about every way. And this
is exciting.
So let's just get into it. Let's get through it because I think Raw is significantly better.
Well, let's just start with how we open. We open with that the Giant is not allowed to enter the arena by security for some reason. I don't know why. This has not been established, but he's not allowed in anymore. And Road Wild just happened, and Hogan's on top again. Surprise! You got anything to add about that, or should we get into our first match that I've already built?
So you are correct, right? They don't give us a reason. The commentary is really scrambling to try to figure out what to say here. I don't think they were told. The reason will be they will explain it later on in the night because Bischoff comes out and says stuff like Bischoff does. It's not that he's actually not allowed in. It's that he has been given a restraining order by the NWO. He is not allowed within 50 feet of the NWO. And so naturally, you would make sure to very clearly explain that in this segment, which of course they don't. And then Michael Buffer introduces us again. So we flush money down the toilet. This will be episode 102, I believe, of our podcast, not including our pay-per-views. They did this for the 100th Nitro, and even though that was a phenomenal waste of money, I get it, right? It's our 100th episode. We're going to go big, whatever. They're now doing it again, having him intro just cuz. So that's where we're at. I didn't give this one a grade because it's just kind of a quick thing, but it is whatever.
Yeah, I guess to your point, they do hand the Giant a piece of paper that apparently explains what they're doing, and he crumples it up and throws it away and doesn't tell us. So that's how we start. And then we get into our first match, which is the Outsiders, who are putting up the WCW World Tag Team Championship to Bobby Starr and David Moore, the famous, illustrious tag team of Bobby Starr and David Moore. I wonder how. I mean, to be fair, this is kind of the joke, right? That they're working champions and they just beat up on jobbers, right? But the 2 nights ago, we had more shenanigans with the titles where they won't give them up to real guys either. So tell me about the Outsiders versus Bobby Starr and David Moore.
Yeah, to your point, yes, this is the joke. This joke was funny, to be clear. It was funny 8 months ago when they started the joke, and now it's become played out and it's useless and it doesn't do anything. They say they give the people what they want. They tell the Einsteiners, if y'all are so good, why aren't you the champs? Nash says NWO Hollywood and the Wolfpack are just too sweet. Then the Steiners music hits instead.
It's because they cheat. It's because they cheat all the time.
So the Steiners music hits, by the way, and then the jobbers come out to the Steiners music. The Outsiders win this easily. The Steiners run in, and the two teams fight, and then we go to commercial, and I gave this a D.
So there you have it. After that, 6 comes in. I guess this is kind of what you talked about, but I'm going to give a little bit more clarity. 6 comes in the ring. Nash and Hall say they want more competition.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the Steiners come out, and then they don't actually do it. And then we return to find out that Kurt Hennig, who is definitely not in the NWO, will be taking on the Macho Man Randy Savage. Very exciting. And that leads us to our next match, which is Ming and Wrath.
Mm-hmm.
Boy howdy, which goes about 3 minutes.
So I think a week ago, they decided that this was the rivalry we needed, was Meng and Wrath. As they decided this was the rivalry that we really needed. And they made it really seem very big. And then we have this match, and Meng wins easily, like very quickly, like you said, 3 minutes, almost takes no offense, and he wins. Mortis runs in to fight, so Barbarian joins to also help Meng, and then this just kind of ends. So this becomes it's already started for weeks, but this is just a recurring problem that WCW has, where they go, and now we're going to tell you this story commercial, and then we're done. It gets a D, didn't like it.
And that leads us to 6:05 Saturday night. What you're really here for. DDP is going to be in competition. Alex Wright, Ric Flair, Kurt Hennig, they're all going to be on. It sounds like it's going to be another hot show that we can't and won't watch.
Yeah.
After that, Mean Gene, the Genester, the Genie comes out of his lamp, which is shaped like a microphone, to grant the Steiners the privilege of I watched the Wishmaster a couple of nights ago. It's awful. Wes Craven's attached to it, so I was like, how bad can it be? It's not good. It's not good. Anyways, the Steiner brothers come out, and they've got some stuff to say. They said, they got a raw deal, but the ref had to save the Outsiders. That's how good the Steiner brothers are. And is Nick Patrick in the NWO again?
Yep.
I don't know. Tell me, Joseph.
Yeah, DiBiase literally asked if Nick Patrick is in the NWO again. They are setting this up for a specific reason, and it's a stupid reason, and it will not pay off the way they hope it does. That is months down the line. Now, Nick Patrick has to come out to deal with this, and he's like, hey, I already did my time. I've proven myself, blah, blah. But you know who really we should be questioning is Randy Anderson, because of how he handled the Lex Luger and Hogan match by not calling a disqualification so Luger would win. So this Randy Anderson, Nick Patrick rivalry that we had a year ago with the creation of the NWO is now back. Yes. What are we doing?
We're back.
It's another D.
Although Nick Patrick has a point.
Yes.
Because what the hell happened at that match, that main event match at Road Wild that you can hear all about? I scream.
Yes.
You can hear it. I scream. How bad that main event is. $2 a month. You can hear me scream about it. Literally. It's bad. But what's good, palate cleanse.
Yes.
Time for a palate cleanse. Because we got Eddie Guerrero versus, I was going to say what's bad, and like because it's not bad because it's gonna be two great guys. I was like, I'm not gonna do that to Eddie and Chris.
Yeah.
I'm not even make that joke. They're too good. Great match. About $4.30 on the clock. Tell me, Joseph.
My first note is finally something worth watching on this episode. Eddie Guerrero hits a very long frog splash for the win, and what is genuinely the only good thing that has happened in the first 30 minutes of this program. It gets a B from me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good, but it's Nitro. After that, we get the Nitro Girls. And an angle that I kind of like, but they're not going to do anything good with it, is Alex Wright comes out to join them and does his German dancing.
Mhm.
And the Nitro Girls are kind of like, what? And leave. And then he's just dancing by himself. And I kind of like it. But they're going to do nothing with it. And that's what disappoints me. He goes over to talk with Gene. He starts talking in German again. Gene tells him to cut it out with that Frankenfurter stuff. And yeah, it's good. Alex wants to be the Cruiserweight champion. What'd you make of this?
Wright has a very good line where he says, because Gene gets mad about him speaking in German again, and he says, first he talks to the people that matter to him, then he talks to the people that don't. And that's why now he's speaking English. Really good line from Alex Wright. This lasts way too long, though. He calls the people jealous. It's fine. It gets a C for me. And sadly, that's one of the best graded things on the night.
Yeah, I like it, but it's also this is basically we've got this again. They're just kind of doing this over. This is like the second or third time this exact thing has happened.
Right.
And while I like it, do something with it.
Yeah.
Dean Malenko versus Jeffrey Jarrett for the WCW United States Heavyweight Championship. And this one is about 4 minutes.
Malenko, who was betrayed last night, so is now this night taking on Jeff Jarrett. He doesn't win this match. Or he does, but not really.
Oh.
Mongo stands on the stage as we head to commercial. We come back, and Malenko eventually does lock in the cloverleaf, but then Eddie Guerrero attacks him. So he does win via disqualification, but he doesn't really stand tall because of it. Both Eddie and Jarrett beat Malenko up until Mongo runs in for the save. I know what they're doing here. I'm not overly fond of it. I'm giving it a C because it's not inherently bad in any sort of way. But it's also like, why the betrayal yesterday and now Guerrero's with you? Like, was that the long con? Because it wasn't long and it's not very good of a con. So here we are, and it gets a C from me.
I think what could make this better, I think what could really fix this for you is our next segment.
Okay.
Where Mean Gene.
Mm-hmm.
You all right there?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
You okay?
Yeah.
Seem like you're a little perturbed. I don't know why. Anyways, we got Mean Gene and Kurt Hennig and Ric Flair. And Rick wants to clear some stuff up. Flair saw Flair,
yes,
who is vehement that Kurt Hennig is a horseman and could not possibly be a member of the NWO. However, Rick saw Kurt talking to Eric Bischoff backstage. What could this possibly be? And Kurt, he's going to clear it up for us. He tells us that he's got some business with Bischoff, and that's supposed to make us not think he's in the NWO. And Flair's fine with that, I guess. That's an acceptable answer.
Yes.
What? Tell me, Joseph.
Yeah. My first note is that Flair wants to know why Hennig was talking to Bischoff. And my next note in all caps is because he's in the NWO. This story
could be
is so stupid. We are going to have weeks of is he a horseman or is he NWO? And we already know the answer with everything that Hennig has done. They think that they are pulling off a misdirect here, and they aren't. At any point, do we feel that Hennig is actually part of the Horsemen? It is so bad, I'm giving it, I think, the very first F-.
It can't get worse than an F-. Oh, it will. Maybe not tonight, but F-, minuses, I'm sure, are in the future for WCW.
I'm just gonna Dave Meltzer and be like, "Oh, this is 6 stars, not 5. This is 7.82 stars. This one's 12 stars." Yeah.
-6 stars. Anyways, hour number 2! And we started off with the NWO, and more importantly, with Eric Bischoff on a motorcycle.
Yep.
Because this man's ego,
Mhm.
it's insane what's going on. I don't even know.
Yeah.
We like Eric Bischoff. I might even say I kind of love the guy because I genuinely think he saved professional wrestling, and
Right.
and it's better because of it. But my God, Eric, stop getting the high on your own supply, bro. It's a problem.
Mhm.
It's a problem. So tell me all. There's kind of a lot of stuff going on here.
I got it. I'll cover it for you.
You got, you
Yeah.
want to try and put it all together because this
Yeah.
is just kind of nuts.
Yes.
Everything that happens here.
It's bad. So, like you said, Bischoff comes out on a motorcycle. The only reason that's important is because Scott Norton also comes out, but he has to walk, which I laughed about. Like, you couldn't hook the brother up with the motorcycle too? Like, all right. Bish says he told Luger he would pay. Then other NWO members walk out as well, because why not? They come into the ring and they sing happy birthday to Hulk Hogan, who is in Montreal filming a movie at this moment. So apparently today's date is Hulk Hogan's birthday. So good riddance. Anyways, they sing happy birthday to him. And let me get this straight. Hogan wasn't going to be around because he's filming a movie. So they put the title on him right before he went to go film the movie. Got it. Makes perfect sense. Bish then insults the Giant and says he can't, that he can wrestle Scott Norton if he wants, but he can't take him. Buff Bagwell goes out and measures 50 feet to the ring and spray paints a line, which I will say, actually really fantastic from Buff Bagwell. I really liked that. It was really funny. He's using his feet and he's going 50, and then he spray paints it and he writes 50, letting Giant know, if you come out, this is as far as you can get to us, which I thought was fantastic from Bagwell. Giant does come out, and Larry Zbyszko, tries to stop him because Larry Zbyszko, for some reason, feels a little responsible for the situation. And he's like, hey, man, don't do it. Don't cross the line. Giant, of course, crosses the line because why not? And then the cops arrest him. Okay. Then Hall taunts Zbyszko as we head to commercial, and this is another F. It is all over the place. It doesn't serve the purpose it's supposed to serve, and it is incredibly, incredibly ego-driven. And you literally wasted time to sing happy birthday to Hulk Hogan, which would be a good heel move if you had not repeatedly insulted your audience.
I did look it up because I was like, wouldn't it be a trip if it actually wasn't even his birthday? It is his birthday, for the record. August 11th, 1953. So at least it's true.
Mm-hmm.
We come back from commercial, and Gino wants to talk with Flexi Lexi about everything that happened at Road Wild because it was a doozy.
I think we might have missed something here.
Oh. Okay,
I'm pretty sure we have a Benoit and Mongo match versus the Steiners prior to that. This is great content.
Sure. Tell me about the Steiners versus Chris Benoit and Mongo. Mongo was in it, so I was like, eh.
The only reason I know that this for sure is I mentioned on the Patreon that I looked up something for Mongo and I kind of found out a bunch of other stuff. that I talked about there. But the reason I looked up was because of this match. So it's Benoit and Mongo versus the Steiners. That's the match. It's basically just a showcase, show the Steiners are a great tag team, and that Benoit and Mongo, I guess, are on their level. I don't know. The Steiners win this match when Rick Steiner does a routine belly to belly that drops Mongo on his head, directly on his head. To add insult to injury, Mongo's own knees hit him in the face. And it is very clear this was not the end of the match because Benoit is just standing on the apron, not expecting the 3 count. Rick Steiner pins him and he goes 1, 2, 3 because Mongo is out cold. Dude is clearly concussed. I did research on this. He actually is injured because of this. They take quite a few minutes to make sure he's fine before getting him out of this match. But dude just got injured on live TV. I'm not blaming anybody. It just happened, but it is gnarly. Gets a D for me. It wasn't a great match to begin with. It just exists. And unfortunately, someone got hurt during it.
Can't believe I missed it. Must have been a pee break. Anyways, I got it in my notes. I don't know, man. But that does seem kind of significant, right? Pretty gnarly, their injury from Mongo. Maybe this will be the excuse they need to not have him wrestle anymore. Nope. Back from commercial, we got Gene and Lex as promised, because Gene wants to get Lex's opinion on everything that happened at Sturgis. And the thing I find most peculiar about this entire segment is how Lex wants to talk about how he and Randy Anderson, who really did botch that match.
Yeah.
Because it should have been, he should have won via DQ because the NWO was all over it. They're cool.
Yeah.
Randy did his job. But we've got a storyline going that he didn't.
Yeah.
And Nick's beefing with him.
Yeah.
So what is going on here, Joseph? Explain this to me.
I'd love
like I am not so smart, because I'm not.
I'd love to explain it, but I can't because it's all bad. Gene says Lex went through a roller coaster. Lex calls last Monday the happiest moment in his wrestling career. Sturgis was a disappointment, but it was a turning point for WCW because WCW technically had a 4-2 record on that pay-per-view, which they made sure to bring up every single match, even though that record doesn't mean anything because there was no stipulations about a record on WCW versus NWO. It never came up once. They randomly threw it in and they're trying to make it a thing now, but it has no implications. WCW didn't get anything for it. NWO didn't lose anything for it, but you need to know it happened.
Technically, WCW lost quite a bit. They lost the heavyweight championship. So tell me what they won for their 4-1 record, losing the championship.
Yes. Like you said, he doesn't blame Randy Anderson. Okay. He calls out Hogan and says he will win the title back. Now, Lex is not a strong promo historically. We know this, right? He does have some good promos. This ain't one of them. He struggles on this, and they want Lex to do a lot of storytelling in this. They want him to explain his emotions. They want him to explain the rundown of the match. They want him to put over the Randy Anderson story. They want him to continue a rivalry with Hulk Hogan and to try to get it over that WCW is somehow on the winning track. That's 5 different things they want Lex to do, and he's really not great at doing more than one at a time. This gets a D.
To be fair, he hits all of them.
He does, yes.
But it's not good.
Yes.
But it's not good. He does cover all of them, but yeah. You're going to come out here and give us the entire narrative for the stories. All the stories. Go out there, champ. It's poor Lex. You know, Lex has really grown on us.
Yes.
Come on. Play to his strengths. Goofy Lex. Let it happen, man. After that, we got DDP and Buff Bagwell for about 4 minutes. Tell me.
DDP throws Bagwell into Vincent, and then hits the diamond cutter for the win. This is a simple, fun match in a really bad episode of Nitro. I gave it a C. It probably could get a B, but I'm so upset by this point, I was not even thinking positives.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. It was pretty clean match. I mean, obviously we get more kind of NWO attempted interference because that's the finish of every match, but it doesn't work this time, right? Because DDP wins. I'm sorry you feel that way though. Like this makes me sad that you're just really kind of in a bad place. Right now with this episode, and but I think I have something for you.
Oh, okay.
I think I can turn that frown upside down because we've got Lee Marshall, the 1-800 Collect Road Report from Birmingham, Alabama. Tell me about Lee Marshall and Birmingham, Alabama. Whoa, Black Betty, bam, bam. Whoa, Black Betty, bam, bam. Don't listen to the lyrics of that song too much. It's kind of wild. Anyways, go ahead and tell me about
it. So you mentioned that this will turn my frown upside down. You may have noticed if you are listening at home or watching at home that every time I have done an On the Road with Lee Marshall segment, the 1-800 Collect Road Report, as you might call it, I have given it an A+. So much so, I joked with Scott about making the A+ grade just called Lee Marshall because he's fantastic. And I will let you know, he does not get an A+ today.
I know why, but tell me. I bet I know why.
Yep. So he tells us that they had a really great rib dinner at Dreamland. They had a Nitro party in 5 Points South. He says Birmingham is the home of the historic civil rights district. It's the birthplace of Courtney Cox, Willie Mays, one of the greatest baseball players of all time, arguably the best, Charles Barkley, Bo Jackson, and even Diana Ross. A few decades ago, trains used to pass a dance hall known for its well-dressed patrons, and that is where they came up with the term Tuxedo Junction. And then it finishes, and we get no weasel joke, and on this day, we shed a tear. The one thing that was going to pull me through this horrible episode of Nitro, I don't even get done correct, and I don't blame Lee. I'm sure they cut him for time. This gets an A-.
I knew as soon as you said that, as soon as you started talking about your rating, I said, oh no, he's upset that there was no weasel joke. I made a note of it, that there was no weasel joke. I knew it was going to be an issue. I figured, though, talking about Willie Mays, who has the most home runs in baseball, to this day, would turn your frown upside down.
What?
Anyways, what?
What? Most home runs in baseball? Willie Mays? He's got 600 and something.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Were you trying to make a Hank Aaron reference?
I was.
And you were you're trying to be all sly with it, like Barry Bonds doesn't exist?
Yeah, it was gonna be good too if I hadn't messed that up. You know? Anyways, speaking of messing things up, Gene's here to talk with JJ Dillon and why are we even doing this anymore? Tell me about JJ Dillon, who's got beef with Sting or something. I thought he was supposed to like save us from the NWO, but apparently Sting's the concern.
Yeah.
What? Tell me.
Before I talk about that, because we're messing everything up today, I'm going to talk about Mortis versus Ultimo Dragon. What a strange matchup.
Yeah, that's up. That's up here too. For the record, I do have that one. It's 3 minutes, but I wanted to go talk about the other thing.
Mortis gets to shine, though, and is actually a surprisingly good I shouldn't say surprising. Mortis, who we know is Canyon and will become Canyon, great wrestler in the ring, fantastic wrestler. So he's actually a really good dance partner with Ultimo Dragon. They actually have a pretty fun match. Dragon wins with the Dragon Sleeper, though, for the win. I'm giving this because I was in the abyss and I wanted one thing of positivity. I gave this a B. Moving on to Lee Marshall and interviewing JJ Dillon. Or sorry, not Lee Marshall. That's how depressed I was. I wrote Lee Marshall interviews JJ Dillon, not Gene. Anyways.
God, keep it together, man. Let's have an error-free podcast for once in your life. You know?
JJ,
blowing a Hank Aaron joke,
uh-huh.
forgetting matches. Like, can
Yeah.
you just focus up, bro?
I'm sorry. I'm
Jeez.
sorry. I'm sorry. I just watched season 2 of Demon Slayer, so I'm just a mess. A mess. I didn't actually, but that's a deep cut for Scott.
Yeah, I get
Anyways,
it. Okay.
JJ calls out Sting again. If you remember last week, he had a contract for Sting. The contract was he could face Kurt Hennig. He wanted Sting back in WCW. Sting ripped up the contract, said, "That's not who I want." He didn't say anything. He just shook his head and he left. So he's got a brand new contract. And JJ is starting to figure it out. He thinks that Sting wants somebody from the NWO. That's where his battle is. So JJ goes, all right, I'm giving you somebody from the NWO, and this new contract is for 6, which of course Sting doesn't want. So he rips up the contract. And Gene asks Sting, and let me be very fucking clear here, because next week they are going to prolong this longer than needed. He asks him point blank, Sting, what do you want? The crowd chants Hogan, Hogan, Hogan. Sting points to the crowd. And so we think,
Yes,
they all know now the match needs to be Sting versus Hogan. And next week, it's going to be dumber. And I'll leave it there. Right now, this is pretty good. And I gave this a B.
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's great and completely organic, right? Like, they didn't know the crowd was going to chant Hogan, but it's so good how they did it. And they just can't, for the life of them, like, figure out, like, change it. Like, this is,
Yeah.
you got your answer. Like, we got to pivot because that's it. We got it.
Yeah.
Right.
You made a really good point a second ago. It is organic. It is the best possible way this could have happened. And instead, next week, they will try to manufacture it and it doesn't work. And it actually becomes incredibly stupid. Like, where it's like, wow, if we are to believe that the people on this screen are actual characters, actual people, and what drives them and everything, JJ Dillon is the dumbest motherfucker in the history of wrestling.
Whoa.
Because what happens next
This is
week?
a family podcast.
What happens next week is insane. That this even continues one more episode without Sting getting established what he wants. It's wild.
Clearly they had this plan to drag it out for weeks, but
Right.
you've got to pivot because you just had it.
Yes.
That was fantastic. It's so good. And what a great way to end the show. It's over. Nothing else happens after that. Let's move to Raw.
I know what
I'm
you're doing.
just kidding.
I know what you're doing.
I'm just kidding. This time I know what I'm doing. We got a main event. And it's Randy Savage of the NWO versus Kurt Hennig of clearly not the NWO for our main event.
Yes.
Tell me about this battle of the Titans, good versus evil, NWO versus not NWO.
Correct. We get an okay match until DDP attacks Hennig, which makes sense because DDP and Hennig, they got a problem. And then the DQ gets called, and then the NWO run out, and they beat up DDP, even though Hennig is not a member of the NWO. Luger eventually runs in, and they run away, and I guess that counts as a save. This gets an F because, again, no one can figure out this misdirect. We're so smart at how we book things.
Do you think they really think that, though?
I think they have to.
Do you really think they don't know that we know?
I think they have to, because it's inexplicable why you would keep this going.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. But that's basically how it ends. we're over now officially. So let's go over to Raw and talk about what happens over there, which is infinitely better. But I might still give it to WCW just for funsies. We'll see. Let's talk about it because we are at the Gulf Coast Coliseum in Biloxi, Mississippi. And I love when wrestling events are at some random city in the South. I just love it. It just brings me so much joy. Biloxi, Mississippi for Raw. Let's start off with Shawn's here. My voice broke a little bit there because I hit puberty just looking at the man. What a hottie.
Absolutely.
Shawn's here. He's getting cheered. But then people remember that like he's supposed to be a bad guy, so he's got to, I guess he's a bad guy now, so he's like, "Don't cheer for me, I'm a heel." And then they start calling him gay.
Yeah.
There's a Shawn is gay chant. And he's got a great line where he says, "Why don't you ask your mama how gay Shawn Michaels is?"
I got this whole thing written down.
Oh, I'll let you go.
I got the whole thing. It is fantastic. So Ross,
I'm sorry I did this to you.
Jim Ross, asks him what his thoughts are about facing Mankind later on. And HBK says, first, let's recap what's been going on lately. The World Wrestling Federation asked Shawn Michaels to do a job at SummerSlam, and that was to referee a World Wrestling Federation title match. And I was told if I didn't do it fairly, I wouldn't be able to wrestle in the United States ever again. Well, the fact of the matter is, I had a job to do, and I did it. Now, in the World Wrestling Federation and the people who run it, and he looks over at Vince, don't have the cojones to step up and take responsibility for what happened. And they want to throw all this in the lap of the Heartbreak Kid. Well, believe me, the Heartbreak Kid has had plenty in his lap before. This is a sex joke. It's actually quite clever.
Yes.
So it's like this. Either you're with me or you're against me. Take your pick. Take your side because it's cool with me. Now, this match with Mankind, I had to find out while I was sitting at home watching Superstars, which is kind of their new Shotgun Saturday Night. They're kind of bouncing back and forth. Anyways, because the man who runs the World Wrestling Federation doesn't have the guts to call me over the phone. And he looks at Vince again. And he goes, "Do ya? Like a man, you Nimrod." This is the second time he's done Nimrod, and he's clearly trying to get it over. It may never get over, but I love it every time. Now you think I crossed you last week? You ain't seen nothing yet. Mankind, you, and then the crowd starts chanting, "Shawn is gay, Shawn is gay." He steps to them, then comes back to the mic. "Why don't you ask your sister and your mama how gay Shawn is?" Great line. Mankind,
Yes, it is.
I'll see you in a few. Undertaker, I want to invite you out of the goodness of my heart to watch me smack around the guy that beat you up, i.e., he beat you, I beat him, I can beat you. Now let's move on. Scroll, 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 scroll. He's literally saying this. It's fantastic. The World Wrestling Federation and its officials have now put Shawn Michaels, HBK, the initial outlaw of the World Wrestling Federation, on their private hit list. They've got their new commissioner, Sergeant Slaughter, calling the shots. Well, Slaughter, if you think that you're going to stick that big, huge, enormous chin in my business, you got another thing coming because nobody steals my spotlight. I want it all. Sergeant Slaughter comes out and tells Shawn he was listening. And that's great, or that's right, that he doesn't want him to come out and put his jaw in his business. But he will anyways, because it's his job. He doesn't want the spotlight. If you think he's here to play games, you're wrong. He makes decisions to better the WWF, not Shawn Michaels. He tells HBK it's time to put up or shut up. Shawn calls him Commissioner Gordon, which goes way over Slaughter's head because he goes, "It's Commissioner Slaughter." And it's like he doesn't realize it's a Batman joke. HBK says he will do something about it, and he is thinking ahead. He has a big insurance policy, and no one can do anything about it. HBK is on fire now. He is clearly rejuvenated and not phoning it in with this promo. He is fantastic the whole way through. Also, while I was watching this, and now we've had 2 giant Eric Bischoff segments during this run of recording. We had the one at Sturgis for Road Wild, and we had the one on Nitro's same day episode. It just dawned on me that what Eric Bischoff is trying to do is what Shawn is actually doing. He's just really bad at it. This gets an A+ from me, and it is already better than the entire night of Nitro.
I'm going to say I think I told it better. But anyways, after that, we got a country whipping match.
Yes.
Versus Hawk and Henry O'Godwin. And do they, what? I don't know what is a country whipping match, Joseph?
They do explain it
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't write it down though. That's why I'm telling you to explain to me, because I don't write down the matches, bro. I tell the stories in between the matches.
Yes, you do. Yeah. Yeah. You give us the cartilage. Yeah.
Yes. I read between the lines, bro.
LOD,
3 minutes, 47 seconds.
Yeah, it's LOD versus the Godwins in this country whipping match. Bulldog and Owen come down to ringside, and then we get a real quick little excerpt where the Godwins explain what this is. Apparently, where they come from, this is how you settle grudge matches back home. Well, the point of it is that you have to whip your opponent over the rope and out of the ring to win this match. Essentially, you eliminate them the way you would in like the Royal Rumble. Whichever one gets eliminated, the other team automatically wins. That's how it works. It's a slugfest. It sees LOD win. It's fine. It's nothing great about it, but the crowd is pleased by it, so I gave it a C.
Then we've got Sergeant Slaughter again laying down the law better than JJ Dillon's ever done.
Yes.
Because Brian Pillman ripped up his dress on a previous episode. He doesn't want to wear the dress anymore, but the stipulation is he has to wear it until he wins. And Sergeant Slaughter is a man of his word. You don't welch on bets in the Sergeant Slaughter run WWF. He brings out another nice dress for Brian to wear. I thought it was very nice of Sergeant Slaughter.
It is. Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I love
you're our fashionista, so what do you make of it? How do you feel about the dress?
I love that Sergeant says, "Got your wrestling gear," and Pillman goes, "This isn't wrestling gear. This isn't wrestling," and he just like loses his mind. It's very quick. It's fun. It gets a B. Unfortunately, the dress storyline is going to very soon get into an uncomfortable place. But right now, it's still just kind of fun.
Yes. And again, every time I watch Sergeant Slaughter versus JJ Dillon, I'm like, it's right there.
Yes.
It's right there. Sergeant Slaughter doing it every week. It's great. He's doing a great job.
Yes.
Then we got Tony Williams. Who? Versus Scott Putski for 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Tell me about Tony Williams, better known as Kid Wicked, according to the old Google machine, versus Scott Putski.
The point of this match is really not for this match. It's a vehicle for the Brian Pillman and Goldust and Marlena stuff. So Goldust and Marlena come down to ringside to watch this, and they join commentary. They say they have a surprise that Goldust says this Shattered Dreams production is comparable, if not better, than Air Force One. That's huge. It shows that there is a hidden camera in the locker room, and it shows Pillman as he's very frustrated and begrudgingly strips down to put on the dress as his ring gear. Scott Putski wins during this whole thing. I know what they're going for here. I just don't really like the execution of it. Slaughter comes out and he tells Goldust and Marlena they need to leave. This gets a D. Again, I get it. I just think it wasn't executed well.
Yep. And that's going to lead to Brian, Christopher, and Scott Putski at a pay-per-view. Boy, howdy. I did, while you were talking, look up Tony Williams, and apparently he originally teamed with Brian Christopher as the New Kids. And we know Brian Christopher, so that's kind of cool. Flash Funk versus Brian Pillman, because the previous two segments, well, the segment and match, have been leading up to this moment. Flash Funk and Brian Pillman, and we're going to see if Brian has to wear the dress another week. 3 minutes, 17 seconds.
During this match, Sergeant Slaughter, or Commissioner Slaughter rather, tells us that Owen and Bulldog will face the Patriot and a partner of his choice later tonight. Goldust and Marlena come to the stage with popcorn and present the earlier footage on the Titantron to distract Brian Pillman, who then gets small packaged, and Flash Funk gets the win. I give this a B because this actually worked. They could have just done this and never done the other thing. Would have been fine.
Yeah. I think I feel like that was a misstep, showing it twice.
Yes,
I think that's
agree.
the only real misstep. It kind of deflated the how serious this was, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this gets a B. It's fine.
After that, we get some hype video of Owen, and everything that happened there.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to see that over and over and over and over and over. It is insane how many times they show this.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything more you want to add?
No.
About Owen and everything that happened there?
No, Stone Cold's going to have I think it's next week, has a really long segment, and we'll kind of go into how insane it is that they show it over and over.
Yeah, I guess I should add a little more. It's Owen's pile driver of Stone Cold that broke his neck, pinned his neck. They say it's different things. It is a legitimate neck injury,
Yes.
but what they say exactly it is kind of jumps around. But yeah, they show it so many times, and it's brutal. Like, it's crazy how much they show it. But then we get Dude Love. We got Dude Love, and Dude Love tells Vince he thinks Austin's going to be ready for the pay-per-view, Joseph. What do you make of this?
Yeah, he asks, Vin Man asks Love about Austin's condition, and Dude Love says the Iceman, which I love that he calls him the Iceman, has asked him to tell everyone that he will be back very soon. Vin Man then asks about the tag team fatal four-way that's going to happen at Ground Zero. Dude Love puts over Legion of Doom, then says the Godwins wouldn't know hip if they were smoking it. He calls out Owen Hart and ow, bow, wow, wow, the British Bulldog. Better hope they have more than one life. Vin Man then asks about Mankind versus HBK. Dude Love says he thinks Mankind will rock and roll over that wimpy hippie HBK. HBK then interrupts on the Titantron, and he wants the Nimrod, Dude Love, to get knocked out. He says, "You're not me, Jesus, you're not even you." He tells Love that Mankind will see his insurance policy tonight and calls him an idiot, and then he leaves. Then Dude Love says, I am we, you, Shawn, are we are we, and we are all together. It's not quite the line. The line is, I am he as you are, me, and we are all together. It's from the Beatles. It's the Beatles. I am the
Love
Walrus.
the Rolling Stones.
Great song off of the great album Magical Mystery Tour. He says Mankind will tear up HBK, Cuckoo Kachoo. Also wrong. It's from the same song. It's actually Goo Goo Gajoob.
Oh, yeah.
That being said, Foley's on fire here. He's doing great work. And the greatest part about this is that he is playing it like Mankind really is a different person. So, yeah, we're friends, but like, I can't speak for him. I can just, I can just kind of guess what I think will happen. And that is perfect. Everyone else is like, this dude's insane. And he's like, no, that's just another person. Fantastic. In a few weeks, they are going to do a very impressive segment with Mankind and Dude Love and potentially somebody else. Anyways, before we head to commercial, we do see the Patriot talking to someone who will be his mystery partner, but we don't see who. Now, I know in retrospect who this is. But I wrote here, my guess is that it will be Ken Shamrock. So we'll have to see who it is once we get there. Gave this an A+. It is a fantastic segment from Mick Foley as Dude Love.
Wow, what a setup for everything that's going on. Really exciting. Really great stuff. Really great show we got for everybody.
Are you Lorne Michaels now?
No, I'm not Lorne Michaels. I'm God, if you hadn't said it.
I can't wait for you to say who you're being.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going, and it's gonna hit me, and I'm gonna tell you who it is.
Can I just guess who you think you're being is Dr. Evil?
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
I do a pretty good Dr. Evil impersonation.
You do. But the reason I was gonna say that is because Dr. Evil is literally Lorne Michaels. That's just his Lorne Michaels impression.
No, which is good.
Yeah.
No. It's 50s, 60s variety show. The Beatles were there.
Oh God. Now you just made me forget it.
Yeah.
Oh God. I know exactly what you're talking about.
This is what people tune in for.
Absolutely.
This is what people tune in for. Why don't we get to the next segment, and I will Google machine who the heck I'm thinking of. Someone who's listening to our pod.
Ed Sullivan.
There it is. I would say someone listening to the pod is just screaming Ed Sullivan right now. And just say, it's Ed Sullivan, move on, you hacks. And they're right, we should. We get some video from Superstars or Shotgun or whatever it is now.
Yeah.
Apparently the Patriot won like a battle royale because we're trying to put him over.
Mm-hmm.
So we got that going for us, and that leads into our main event, right? No, it's not. I'm kidding. I'm just giving Joseph a hard time. It's the Patriot, and I guess I'll keep you guessing. Mystery helper
partner, yeah.
Mystery part versus the Hart Foundation for 11 minutes 17 seconds. Who is it, Joseph?
Owen dedicates this match to Bret Hart. I think he calls his loving brother Bret Hart. Patriot comes out, and his tag team partner it's Ken Shamrock. I was right. I'm not saying
Karnak,
which is not Ed Sullivan.
That's Johnny Carson.
Correct.
I do remember off
the
top of my head.
To be clear, I'm not saying this is a boring pick or anything. It actually makes a lot of storyline sense. Shamrock has been feuding with Hart Foundation, so it's a logical pick. Bret Hart comes down to the ramp to watch the match. He eventually tries to come ringside, but Sergeant Slaughter, or should I say Commissioner Gordon, stops him. The two men bicker.
It's Slaughter.
Owen had put a steel chair into the ring, and him and Shamrock are outside of the ring, and they're going at it. While this is going on, and while everyone is distracted, the Patriot hits Bulldog with the full Nelson slam onto the chair to pick up the win, much to the fans' delight. This is a very fun match. It gets a very solid B for me. I liked everything that went on in it.
That's good, but it's not as good as the hotline, because they want you to call the hotline that they used to make fun of WCW for doing. I mention it every time. They want you to call and find out why Ahmed has left the nation. I can tell you why. It's because he's injury prone and unreliable. But that's not what they're going to tell you. I don't know what they're telling you, but that's the truth. And also find out what's going to happen to Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's pretty much over for him. His career is done. He's not going to become anything. So there you have it. Then we get a segment of in Canada, Bret Hart. He's got the title. People like him up there, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool. This is another How Great Bret Hart Is segment.
Yeah.
They sure are doing a lot of great send-offs, a lot of great segments for Bret Hart. Treating him really well. You know, I'm just saying for no particular reason. that I feel like WWF is really, really just taking care of Bret Hart here. So hopefully, hopefully, hopefully the feeling's mutual.
Yeah.
Then we get Shawn, who's he's telling us he's got an insurance policy. Joseph, why don't you tell me about this insurance policy that Shawn's been telling us about?
He's talking to his insurance policy on this, and his insurance policy, his back is turned to the camera, so we can't see him.
Mhm.
Shawn realizes the camera's there, goes, "Hey, get out of here." I lumped this and the Bret Hart thing together. I will say the Bret Hart thing does push forward also the fact that Bret feels the American fans have turned on him, and he's doing this for the world, not America. So I actually did like that vignette. I like the Shawn thing. I gave it the whole thing a B.
Then we get another one of these patriots saying, America's great and Bret Hart sucks. But then Bret Hart attacks him.
Mm-hmm.
My God, I thought Bret was in Canada, but apparently he's not. He's here.
Right.
And he's a bad man. He's a bad man, that Bret Hart. He's bringing down the USA. I hope someone will do something about that. Then we get Farouk versus Chains. I guess, did you want to talk about that promo at all? I mean, that's pretty much what happened.
The only thing I had was that it's very quick and it works perfectly. I did give it an A. I thought it was very effective.
Yeah. As effective as Farouk versus Chains for 3 minutes and 2 seconds?
We're about to find out.
Okay.
Both the Nation and the DOA are banned from ringside per Commissioner Slaughter. Vidman speculates that Ahmed was kicked out due to a power struggle. The real reason is that Ahmed was injury prone and injured other wrestlers. He had become unreliable, regularly got in altercations backstage, including with his fellow Nation members, and Ron Simmons, aka Farouk, did not like him. All that information came from The Godfather in an interview, which I forgot to write down when the interview is. But if you search up, why did Ahmed leave Nation? It's like the first thing that pops up. Anyway,
that's not what the hotline says.
Ahmed, from his point of view, says it's because Vin Man thought the Nation was too powerful with Ahmed in it. So he decided to split them. Also, out of pocket, he says that Shawn Michaels said that the fans would never accept a black champion. According to Ahmed, every member of the WWF is a racist, by the way. So take that with a grain of salt. Every single person is somehow racist, according to Ahmed Johnson. It could not possibly be that he was the problem. Anyways, Chains has the win in this match, but the ref, real quickly, rewind. I do agree with the idea, because we went on a long tangent about this, that WWF has handled black champions, or the lack thereof, poorly.
Yes.
Just to be clear, I'm just saying every single person is racist is folly. Back to the match.
Oh, there are absolutely, 90s wrestling, there are absolutely some good old boys who don't like black folk in the audience, in the back. It's a fact, right? You and I wanted the belt on Farouk.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen because of the way things are right now.
Yes.
But when you accuse like everyone of it, at some point it might be you.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, back to the match now that we've cleared that up. Chains has the win, but the ref is knocked out. Then Rocky Maivia shows up and hits a rock bottom on Chains. I don't know if they're calling it rock bottom just yet, but anyways, hits it on Chains to set up a Farouk win. Rocky has joined the Nation, and we finally have Nation Prime. Backstage, we see the Nation celebrate while DOA tries to break into their locker room. I kind of want to just give this an A because I love Nation Prime, so I am. Gets an A.
I just have to say how important, and we've said it before, I think, but I'm going to say it again, how important this moment is, Rock turning heel, because this is what gives us The Rock. I just don't know, if you didn't have him join the Nation, if we'd ever have gotten The Rock, because it's almost immediate. He starts getting the swagger. He starts doing the head kind of jerk. We get the eyebrow. We get all of it. So this is exciting. This is an important moment in history because Rock is Rock now. Or at least the beginnings of it. Patriot is the Patriot. And he is yet again going to talk to us more about Bret Hart. And you want to tell us all about it, Joseph? Because I know you're just on the edge of your seat about this.
So what's supposed to happen is Sable is supposed to come out and introduce the next match. By the way, real quick aside, Sable is wearing like latex, very skin tight latex all over her. They are clearly directing Sable to the way they want Sable to become. That's an aside. It doesn't play into this at all. But Patriot comes out to interrupt and grabs the mic and calls out Bret Hart for the earlier attack, and he challenges him right now. So Bret comes out and obliges, and the two of them fight. No ref, just a fight in the middle of the ring. Then the Hart Foundation attacks him, Commissioner Slaughter and officials restore order as we head to commercial. I actually do like this. I think it is actually pretty cool, especially because it's like, I just want to fight you. We don't need a ref. Let's just fight. I think it works pretty well. It's not perfect, but it gets a B for me.
Yeah, I think it ends well. It keeps the rivalry going, right? Because obviously the Hart Foundation comes in, so it's not a fair fight. They do beat the crap out of the Patriot, and they kind of put the Canadian flag over him, which I thought was a nice touch before everyone kind of breaks it up. It's good. It's a good way to keep this rivalry going. Obviously, the Patriot doesn't really hit like I think they hoped he would, but he hits better than Brockus.
Yes.
Who's our next segment?
Yeah.
Because he's still coming. Brockus is coming, guys. Get ready for it. This is WWF's Glacier, except he don't show up.
Yeah. Because WWF had the horse sense to go, maybe this won't work.
Yeah, not gonna work. Not gonna work. But that does bring us to our main event. Some might even say the main event, because you got to yell it.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels versus Mankind. Not Dude Love, Mankind. Completely different. 11 minutes. Tell me about this slobber knocker, Joseph.
Mankind had a real quick little promo where he basically said that he hopes that the insurance policy that HBK mentioned is life insurance. And I love it. It's a really good pun. Anyways, Shawn throws a trash can over Mankind immediately and beats him up. We get a brawl outside. The two men get back in the ring and Mankind clamps the mandible claw. Shawn makes them both tumble out of the ring and slams Mankind into the steel steps to break the hold. It's a really cool spot and a creative way to get out of it. Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Chyna come to ringside. We speculate, is this the insurance policy? No, it's not. Then Rick Rude comes down as the insurance policy. And Rick Rude, as we all know, ravishing Rick Rude, no longer has the long hair. He does have the stud mustache, but he doesn't quite look the same. You could tell he's significantly older. He's a little bit thicker. He's wearing a nice suit. He's not wearing kind of the flamboyant stuff anymore. And he is now the insurance policy. Rick Rude is an original member of DX, but he doesn't fit at all. Rude hits Mankind over the head with a steel chair. It is a thunderous hit, but we're going to get a worse one next week. Shawn hits the Sweet Chin Music, and he picks up the win. Shawn and Mankind are honestly underrated dance partners, and we get that in this match. Taker comes to the ramp when Paul Bearer shows up on the Titantron and says, the time is drawing near. His brother Kane is coming, and Taker will burn in hell as we close the show. This gets an A from me, and I think that this night of Raw is you used an example that happened on the Patreon as a perfect microcosm of what the problem is with WWF, and I think that this episode is a perfect microcosm. I'm sorry, the perfect microcosm of what's wrong with WCW. I think this episode is the perfect microcosm of what is really the reason WWF is going to win. We don't get Stone Cold, but he is so clearly over that the entire episode is kind of centered around him. Right? We constantly talking about his injury. We're getting updates. We have Dude Love speaking for him. He is important. On top of that, we have Mankind Mick Foley flexing all of his abilities almost, bouncing from Mankind to Dude Love and back and forth. We have Undertaker. We now find out that Kane actually is coming soon, which is still going to be about 2 months, but he actually is coming soon. We have The Rock being The Rock for the very first time on TV. We have Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Shawn Michaels, although they're going to say they're not together, they're clearly together. So we get DX, Stone Cold, Mick Foley being everything, Taker, Kane, The Rock, Nation Prime, all in the same episode. The train has left the station, and there is nothing WCW can do from this point to stop it.
And that's why I'm going to give it to WCW. Good night, everybody. No, I'm kidding. But that is how we end the WWF RAW. It was quite a show. It was a really great show. Who are you going to give it to, Joseph? I'm not sure I was clear on that.
I'm going to give it to Raw.
Bro? You're going to give it to Raw. I'm shocked to hear that. I figured after everything you said there that you were going to give it to WCW. It sounded like you had a lot of issues. I will say, I think Rick Rude is a mistake.
Yes.
I think they learned very quickly that he's a mistake.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like if he was like the Rick Rude we all know and love with the kind of flamboyant outfits, I think he'd fit better in DX.
Yeah.
But professional wears a suit Rick Rude does not work for DX. I don't feel like.
I think the problem is you're trying to fit Rick Rude into the DX mold, and that's the problem. Rick Rude, I think this idea for Rick Rude could work with kind of just about anybody else. Like you could put him with really any other, young heel that you want to start to elevate. I just think it doesn't work with DX.
Yeah. I'd say I just don't know if he's the right guy for a faction. I don't think he would work in, say, the NWO either, but that's just me spitballing. But I'm gonna put it aside. I'm gonna put my joking aside and say, yeah, I agree. Raw is just head and above better this week.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even joke about it not being better, especially after we just had another terrible pay-per-view over at WCW with another terrible storyline. WWF is really starting to click. We're really starting to fire on all cylinders. We might be one cylinder off from firing on all cylinders at this point over on WWF. It is so close to being perfect,
right.
The Attitude Era that we know and love. So it's wild. It's wild that WCW rested on its laurels for as long as it did, and people agreed with it. But I think people are hot on Sting. They want to see what happens with Sting. And then as soon as they realize they're not getting what they came for with Sting and the Sting rivalry, it drops off like a rock.
Yeah.
They got like 3-4 months after that before it's over for them, which is crazy. But we'll talk about it. Keep tuning in. You'll hear all about it. We're going to keep doing this podcast until we end the Monday Night Wars, the sun explodes, or I just say, that don't work for me anymore, brother. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.